It's a brisk and dreary morning. As I gently pull the covers from over my head, I hear the raindrops on the window. I quietly rise from the squeaky bed, so as not to wake the gentle snore from across the room. Here I am surrounded by mountains, wandering from window to window. Fog eerily rises from the trees, and as I take a deep breath, I listen to the whispering wind as it flows over the hills. I'm drawn to this place, a center of the world as some may say. I have returned home to a land where I have never been, but is also seemingly familiar. The whisper grows louder from the treetops to the floors above. Generations of shared blood gather around the table, Periklad to the only native English speaker. From a land far away, separated by one Atlantic, we share a common history. You can trace a line that leads to this exact place, feeling the roots in the ground in which we walk. Moja dusza цілує землю. Я відчуваю своїх предків у вітрі, у деревах води, що тече. Вони зараз тут. We all come from somewhere else. Our roots are often from distant lands, and those that are lucky enough to call ourselves American, we must honor and cherish those that came before us, and our historical connection to the lands in which they came. Those that risked everything in order to reach a new land of dreams, America.
But freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free. Thank you.
Полетів він на край світа, як вітер, що в поле літатей, в американський край. Лемжа митя моя їжо, лемжа митя моя їжо, солом'яна жал.
It's about our ancestry, about what our parents gave to us, and what their parents gave to them. Their love and their pain, their successes and their hardships, their dreams and desires, their pride, principles, faith, and honor. By extension, we are all of those things. And just like the blood flowing through the veins feeding the heart, our ancestors are like roots feeding a tree. And for what we inherit, we hand down to the next generation, to a new branch in the tree. Our hopes for our sons and daughters is that they will inherit the best of us, for which they will continue to pass down to their children. And out of all that can be inherited, the most important principle we can gift is freedom.
On my way to the next spot. Great.
Hey, good morning. Just getting ready. Everything's packed. I got up around 6:45 or so, showered and stuff. Hope that you're having a very nice night and that Dimitri's not being too much of a pain. I'm looking forward to being home. Sorry I've been kind of short in my messages. I love you very much. I hope I have reception where I'm going.
I'll definitely keep you updated. I'm struggling a lot because I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling it. Missing you guys very much. Give that boy a big kiss for me. I'd say give yourself a big kiss from me, but that doesn't seem like it'll work. Maybe Dimitri will give you a big slobbery kiss for me. All right, I love you, and talk soon. Bye. Not sure when we'll be able to connect today. I'm missing you a lot.
If Mikhail Gorbachev thinks he's bigger than freedom, and he says if these republics continue to seek independence, why then I'm going to resign. Once again, I have to say to him, so long, so long, so long.
Repeating once again our top story, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev has been removed from power.
All that is here can be summarized in a simple formula. People are born, people suffer, and people die.
Республіки України є цілісна і недоторкана. Віднині на території України мають чинність виключно Конституція і закони України, а Конституція і закони СРСР не діють.
Freedom. It's a word that you can hear almost daily in America. A word that strikes truest to our identity. But it's more than just a word. Instead, freedom is a concept, an idea that many Americans have promoted, and for some, defended with their lives. It's an idea that we chose to share with the world, a world full of free people that can choose their own destiny, a people able to live, love, worship, speak, and express themselves without the fear of government. And while Americans have lived a mostly sheltered life compared to others, global powers have tried to diminish the American way, to make us small and weak, to control people, to take away freedoms, to force conformity. As Americans, we must stand firm in our beliefs of freedom and democracy for all. We must be unwavering in our support, because if we are not, we tarnish and disparage the very meaning of freedom.
The first is freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. The second is freedom of every person to worship God in his own way everywhere in the world. The third is freedom from want, which translated into world terms means economic understandings which will secure to every nation a healthy, peacetime life for its inhabitants everywhere in the world. The fourth is freedom from fear, which translated into world terms means a worldwide reduction of armaments to such a point and in such a thorough fashion that no nation will be in a position to commit an act of physical aggression against any neighbor anywhere in the world.
America is often referred to as a melting pot of cultures, made up of peoples from all around the world. The beauty of America is that she has not asked you to abandon your ethnicity, your culture, or the pride from which your roots derive. Whether you're of German, Polish, Italian, Ukrainian, Irish, Mexican, African, or Middle Eastern descent, We celebrate this identity and take pride in affixing the word American to these ethnicities. We all understand our connection to our ancestral lands, and we cling to the identity of these lands and cultures because it gives us a sense of belonging, of pride, and at times, responsibility.
Good evening, and we're coming on the air at this hour with breaking news after the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it was imminent. Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing what Putin called the start of a military special operation in his...
All right, we're out here on a side road. Got Ed with me.
Hi there.
Ed, where are we going to right now?
We're going to Zero Village, Lvivka. And we're gonna bring some food. Look in the back.
What have we done here today, Ed?
We stood near Zero and we did a barbecue. We served like 125 people or more. Maybe we're 150.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was really great. It was really nice.
I can see somebody's house literally right there, and their car in the back. Insane. Once a beautiful church.
It was a beautiful church, I know.
We must honor those that came before us, the struggle they endured, the better lives they imagined. And just as they wished for their children and their children's children, we must ourselves do the same for future generations to come. As the roots grow deeper, we yearn for a better world, just as our ancestors desired a better life in America. They left their homes not because it was easy, but because staying was too hard. We are the descendants of ancestors that were shaped by the land and culture from which they came. Land and culture shared not only in memory, but in the very fabric of our existence. So as the mountain air fills the lungs, a beautiful song flows from the tongue. With pride heavy in the heart, there is courage and strength felt in the mind and in the back. And there is a soul longing for the root. Forever our ancestors are with us, guiding in spirit. My heart and allegiance belong to America, but the soul is elsewhere, as I also belong to my ancestors, to their home and to their land, for which love and hardship is shared through blood. I protect and cherish their spirit, honoring and defending the ground for which they come, and there will always be the belief of the American idea of freedom for people all around the world who share the same values. I am American, but my roots stretch to distant places.
The United States will make no deal with the Soviet Union at the expense of other nations and other peoples, not merely because they are our partners, but also because their interests and ours converge. Our interests converge, however, not only in defending the frontiers of freedom, but in pursuing the paths of peace. It is our hope and the purpose of Allied policy to convince the Soviet Union that she too should let each nation choose its own future, so long as that choice does not interfere with the choices of others. The communist drive to impose their political and economic system on others is the primary cause of world tension today. For there can be no doubt that if all nations could refrain from interfering in the self-determination of others, the peace would be much more assured.